So not only do we just demonstrate it, we call others up higher. Who's the greatest demonstrator and manifester of sacred abundance that you can think of right now?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Absolutely. Jesus. I mean, Jesus always comes to my mind. Jesus of Nazareth. And he didn't simply come to experience it in his life. He came to call us to experience it as well. Jesus said, I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. So I think, as Robin would say, we all agree, right? Yes, 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 yes. We want to experience and demonstrate sacred abundance. So the next question is how? How, pray tell? I've been to 14. I've been to Edwin Gaines' 4 Laws of Spiritual Prosperity. I've been to the Keys to the Kingdom. What are some others? I've been to Spiritual Economics by Reverend Eric Butterworth. Prosperity Plus by Marianne Morrissey. But PJ, how? Tell us how. Right? Isn't that what I share in this, okay? Not so much now, but for a long time. How? Well, there is work to do to bring us into alignment with that magnificent, overflowing abundance at work in the universe. And I know I've gotten confronted before when I say that we have to work. Well, I'm just not advanced enough to figure it out any other way. You know, I'm sure that you can spontaneously just wake up, and some of us will have that experience. But for the rest of us, there's some discipline involved, right? Some commitment, some steps that we need to take, some work involved. There's work to do. God is doing God's work, so we must do ours. And when we do that work, when we practice, when we express, when we intend sacred abundance, a big thing in unity is set the intention. Set the intention for the day. Set the intention for the week. Set the intention for the year. What is the intention of your life? Once you set that intention, it cannot help but manifest in your life. It has to. It's universal law, folks. Irrefutable. That as we practice and live in accordance with these spiritual principles, the universe must respond. Do you get that? So how do we do it? Well, there are many steps, and you're going to hear about all of them if you come to the 7 weeks of these sermon series. I can't do it all in one day, right? I'm going to give you something today, a nugget. 3 nuggets. But, you know, there's a whole program to this. We'll cover all the steps, and we'll go even more deeply in the class. But the foundational step, what is it? Anybody know?
First things first.
And what's that?
God.
What's first?
God.
Yes. Put God first. We must demonstrate spiritual priority, and that priority must be God. God as center, God as essential, God first and foremost in every thought, every feeling, every word, every action. You've heard me say that, right? That's your prayers that you're saying, your thoughts, your feelings, your words, your actions. God is first. Now you might be thinking, well, I already do that, BJ. I'm a spiritual person. I do spiritual practice. Look I'm here on Sunday morning, right? God, of course, is first in my life. I'm not here for the cookies and the coffee and the gossip. No. I'm here for God. Who or what else would I place first in my life? In one of the commandments in Scripture, God says, you shall have no other gods before me. We have no idea what that means. We think it's talking about those deities, you know, the statues that were going to kneel down, the golden calf, right, that Moses' brother Aaron made. You might be saying, you know, I mean, God is God. God is God in my life. Of course I'm not going to worship any other gods. But I know, as sure as you're listening to this sermon today or not, that you and I and every one of us on this planet at one time or another has worshipped the God of lack. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Has worshipped the God of fear, has worshipped the God of anger, of jealousy, of unworthiness. Isn't it true? You know, when we worship those gods, we give them our attention, we give them our energy, we give them our power and our focus. And when we place our power and our focus in lack, we've made it a god. When you place your power, your energy, your focus, your attention on fear, you made it your god. And so we don't have our priorities in order when we allow the problem, the human condition, to be the center of our focus, the center of our energy and our thoughts and in our beliefs. And so what this is calling us to do, when we say put your God first, what we're saying is shift your perspective, change your focus, change where you're centering your energy and your power regardless of the evidence that's presenting itself. Regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the outer condition. God is the foundation. God is the center. God is the all in all. And when we do that, the universe, what will it do?
Responds.
It responds. It responds to your focus. You. And the rest of it all falls away because it's no longer infused with your power. You know, I've seen a bumper sticker on cars before. Robin Ryder talks about this. It says, God is my co-pilot. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah.
God is my co-pilot. Well, friends, it's time to change seats. What do you mean God is your co-pilot? Ego, ego, ego. Victim, victim, victim. We must allow God to be first, foremost, priority in all things. So in order to do that, if you're ready, we're going to hit the 3 G's that Reverend Robin Ryder gives us in this first lesson. How am I doing? Okay. The 3 G's of how to place God first. You know, how do we do this? We need some tools in our toolbox. This is the work part. If you could just do it, everything would be fine. I don't even think you'd be sitting here listening to me. You'd probably be up here talking to me, right? So what's the first G? Oh, that's the second. The first G, you guys are ahead of me, I know, is guidance. When we have to make a decision, are we putting God first? Whether it's just some simple decision that really doesn't mean anything, it's insignificant, and also in the most challenging, difficult, life-altering decisions of our life. Who's driving the car? Who's piloting the plane? That's good. We're called to put God at the center of all of our decisions. We're called to put God first. And how do you do that? Well, when you have a decision to make, you turn within. What's our tendency? To go ask everybody out here their point of view, their advice, their opinion. Making our to-do list, pros and cons, right? But how many of us take that moment to go within, to connect with the presence of God, and ask the question, what is mine to do? What is mine to do? Now, the ego knows what it wants to do. You see the difference between the question, what is mine to do? What is the highest and the best in this situation? What will lead me to my greatest good? And listen, I believe with all my heart that